All right. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is now time. Yeah, we're back. We're back. We switched it up a little bit. We put a different show up first, but it's all good. Glad for y'all sticking around. Hey, if y'all didn't get one of them cherry ices, make sure you get one from Frank's Midnight Munchies right outside. They also got funnel cakes. He's trying to sell them funnel cakes, man. Get you some. Good stuff. And that macaroni and cheeseburger, off the chain. Shout out to Asante and Scarlett. Hope y'all taking care of them over there at the bar. Very nice. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, my comedic comrades right here for GrownDadBusiness. Give it up for Jason Clark and Aaron Kleiber.
Yeah.
Boom.
Boom.
Welcome to GrownDadBusiness, everybody.
Yeah.
We are here live at the Pittsburgh PodCon.
Part of
the River's Edge and Sorgatron Media.
Sorgatron.
I love River's Edge. Sounds like a wrestling school. I like that. Right? You're like,
yeah.
It's not the Razor's Edge. It's the Pittsburgh version.
Yeah.
It's the River's Edge, where you always are thrown in the Youghiogheny River. Not one of the three ones. Yeah. We're throwing you in the dirtiest one coming from Butler.
We're going.
Right?
Youghiogheny doesn't come from Butler.
That was a big local reference, guys.
Yeah,
Guys, welcome to GrownDadBusiness. My name's Aaron Kleiber, and I'm here with my podcast, comedy, bro life
Keep
partner.
Going. One more credit.
The CFO of the podcast. I don't know. There's no money involved.
None.
Jason Clark, everybody. Give it up for Jason Clark.
Yeah. Good
Thank
to be
you so
here.
much.
This is nice. It's a
We're
good
here.
time.
We're here live, part of this Pittsburgh podcast convention.
It's International Podcast Day, Aaron. This is an international thing.
It's an international thing. There's people right now who are podcast fans of Zimbabwe that are listening to us.
Yeah, no.
Is that true?
It's not how this
works. Hold on. Sorgatron is... Nope. Nobody from Zimbabwe?
You better be ready. Sorgi, you better be ready, Sorgi. We're coming.
Dude, Sorgatron is... what?
No. You're good. You're good. But it's not being broadcast. No. The panel earlier, that was broadcast as part of the International Podcast Day.
Dude, I thought we were going to get fans
you're
in
not
Zimbabwe.
You're not international just yet.
I thought we would get like one T-shirt order from Zaire.
Yeah.
Why do I keep saying Z countries?
I don't know.
Are there any more?
No.
Is there any more Z countries? Zaire, Zimbabwe.
Yeah.
Zatania, that was made up.
No. What was what was?
I think she said there's a Zatania.
What was the from coming to America? What was it?
Wait.
What was it?
Zamunda.
Zamunda.
There's Zamunda. That's a real country, guys.
That's a real country in our hearts.
No, that's a real country in our hearts.
Yeah. This is odd. We generally do this like in Aaron's TV room, and at any time there should be a kid running through here with a fucking squeaky toy or something. That
normally or like sometimes we podcast just when my kids come home from school, which is genius.
Yeah.
Because we're podcasting and it's all quiet, and then kids run in and start screaming about math.
Yeah.
And snacks.
Uncle JC, help me with this math. I bounce. I leave. My kids are grown. I don't do math problems anymore.
Yeah.
I don't do it. No.
But I'm just happy we're international now.
No,
we're in.
Not it.
We're in 100 countries.
You'll see Aaron putting a Sharpie to his business card. International podcast
guys,
participant.
I'm now going to use it as a credit. This is an international podcast.
You booked. You're doing a cruise in October. That's about as international as you're going to be.
9 continents, Jason.
Yes. You checked them all off. Yeah.
We're on 9 continents.
Yeah.
This is pretty rad. The Pittsburgh PodCon, hashtag Pittsburgh PodCon PGH.
Wow.
This is pretty rad. So to explain it to our listeners,
we're bringing Rad back too. He's 4 times in 2. We're bringing Rad's coming back.
I'm cool with Rad. I'm cool with Dope. Dope is always
always
Dope.
Good.
Never went away.
No.
Did Dope ever go away?
No.
Do you still say Dope? See,
you
look,
still say Dope.
That's a hard yes.
That's
absolutely.
Dope. Eating your ice cream, is that dope? Is that ice cream dope? Is it ice cream or is it sherbet?
I thought it was watermelon balls.
Italian ice.
There
it is. Very good.
Argentana.
Just exactly what the Italians are known for. They're
I don't know.
ice.
Is that what they say when you take a drink? It's like gin tan. What is?
Sure.
What is the word?
What's that?
Anybody?
Nope.
No. Do they say Giuliani? I don't know what they say. I don't know.
No, we're done.
What is it? It's
Salud.
Salud. Yeah, that one too. But
Aaron gets all of his Italian references from The Godfather.
No, the Goodfellas.
From Godfather. I'm getting them all. Godfather 2, Fuck 3, and then Casino. He gets a good bit from Casino.
I got all of my movie references from Joe Pesci's mom in Goodfellas. That's it.
She's a beautiful
She's a
queen.
Sweet. By the way, which is actually played by Martin Scorsese's mother.
It's
Did you know that?
No, thank you.
That's where I get all my Italian references.
You see, this podcast is movie trivia. You just never know. It's a true potpourri.
Yeah, we if people that usually listen, they know that sometimes we don't even tell them the topic until 15 minutes in.
Yeah,
we didn't. We thought about having a topic because here's the thing, like. We thought, okay, this is a live show. We need to get people up here. We need, I wanted to, make it a spectacle.
Nope.
I like things to be
a
spectacle.
He had set designs and lighting ideas and smoke machines.
I was going to hire
bubble
people.
machines. It was just bullshit.
We should have a bubble machine.
That'd be great.
I one time did a stand-up comedy show outdoors, which is always a blast.
Yeah.
And there was the dude. There was the dude who was a roadie, in 1979, and now he's just the sound guy at an outdoor bar,
killing it
in a county outside of a major city.
He's still wearing the He's still wearing the crew shirt from Molly Hatchet.
Yeah, he was like, dude, me and Molly, you wouldn't even believe, bro.
Molly.
So he had a remote control that was handling smoke, lights, and bubbles. And so while you're doing stand-up comedy, this dude is like hitting bubbles. I'm like, yeah, dude, please, still more bubbles. Spring break '88. Woo! Let's do this. So anyway, that's why we don't have bubbles.
So 15 minutes in, we're going to talk about the topic today.
Now let's go. Jason and I will try to go as long as we possibly can before actually talking about. Look at one of our friends, Kathleen. She's a frequent the Conways. You sweet people, front row.
Yeah.
Kathleen's laughing because we said we're not going to say the topic, and she's like, you're not at all.
No. They're going to say it. No.
No, we're not.
Not yet.
But you know what? If people listen now, they already know the topic.
Yeah.
Because they read it. So what's the point? Now we're just playing games.
It's our own amusement.
It doesn't make any sense.
This whole thing's for our amusement.
All right. Well, we're going to keep the listeners in suspense. And so Jason and I, we're going to pause for 5 seconds because this is when our theme song comes on.
Boom.
Right, Mary Mac Bakehouse? That's one of our another favorite people on the planet. Mary Mac, you've heard her.
Listen to her podcast.
You've heard us. What am I trying to say? You've heard us love on her.
Oh.
Okay, that's a weird thing to say.
But it's good enough.
This isn't an audio sex drama, okay?
Jesus.
We've loved on her cookies. She has supported us. She has gained pounds on us.
Cinnamon rolls.
But she's here too. She's laughing because
we had a 15-minute discussion today here at the PodCon about how did your vanilla experiment come out. That's what I bring to the show. We talked about how to make natural vanilla, and Mary Mac, you did it. So go listen to Mary Mac's podcast.
Yeah, Mary Mac's podcast. Mary Mac Bakehouse.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, they're good.
Okay, so let me just say, you said vanilla extract, right?
No, I just said vanilla.
Did you say? So I just had this conversation with a couple other comedians 2 weeks ago when I was in Richmond, Virginia, and this comedian's wife, she said to me that vanilla extract comes from beaver anus.
I'm sorry, I blacked out for a second. What the hell? I'm sorry. What were you?
I am
what?
like this.
What does?
No, vanilla. Parts of vanilla extract come from secretions. I see you eating your Italian ice. I apologize.
No, stop. Mary Mac is giving you the finger right now. Mary Mac is flipping you off.
So
Mary Mac,
no.
What is this? Are we gonna have to fact check this?
This is guys. Listen, studio audience of 100,000 people. Listen.
Yeah, listen to this.
Okay,
you're learning something. Wrestling guys, listen up.
When my friend's wife was like, I swear to Jesus that parts of vanilla extract comes from beaver anus, I was like, well, I have a supercomputer in my pocket. Let's go to work, okay?
Yeah, I'm not going to trust this.
And I literally said, I'm like, Google vanilla extract, and it was finished it blah, 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 beaver anus, and I was like, whoa. Dig into it. Sure enough,
I'm not digging into the beaver anus story. Not at all.
I know you're not believing me, and you can use your supercomputer that you have in your pocket at any time to verify these facts, okay?
I went to Google this. It's always funny
so, there's like... Okay, I'm sorry if anybody's eating a Polish sausage right now.
By the way, this isn't the topic.
This is not... Okay, tonight's topic is not beaver sacks, okay? Because listen, she won't even make eye contact with us.
I can't even deal with all the...
There's apparently a secretion sac in a beaver's anus that they use for vanilla extract, and that is real. And apparently Canadian hunters in like the 1800s somehow smelled a beaver's ass and was like, oh, that should be a mockumentary, I think. Like how these like lumberjacks were catching beavers to sell their pelts or whatever. What would you call it? Their furs, their pelts?
Sure.
And they were like, hey, let's try to sell everything. And then some Canadian lumberjack smelled a beaver's ass and then started selling it as perfume in Canada.
Let's button this one up.
Okay.
Let's button this one up. I did Google it real quick. I didn't even mess with the extract. I just put beaver anus. I rolled the dice.
There's a whole category.
Hold on, Aaron. I just rolled the dice on beaver anus. And there's beaver anus whiskey for all of you drinkers.
Guys,
so go get some. I'm sure it's already in Lawrenceville. There's probably 3 goddamn breweries that are making beaver anus whiskey.
Well,
let's get after it.
I'm looking right now. We are live at the Pittsburgh PodCon here, International Podcast Day, River's Edge Radio, Sorgatron Media, and we're here live from Spirit in Lawrenceville. And right now, I'm looking at the manager over there, my friend Justin Strong, and bro, you need to get beaver whiskey on the bar.
Beaver ass whiskey.
Is that what it's called? Beaver ass whiskey?
Sure. In my world, it is.
All right, Grown Dad Business.
Here's the theme song.
The GDB theme song. Boom. We're back. Guys, that was just for, I know it's weird. Everyone,
stupid.
You're like, what happened?
Dumb.
Why did you pause? That was the theme song. That's just for, for people that are listening in Zimbabwe, Zaire, and Zamunda right now.
Yeah.
Because this is International Podcast Day, Pittsburgh PodCon. Guys, I'm excited that now we have fans in all 3 Z countries. Do you know how exciting that is to me? Like, I'm going to use that as a credit when I come out on stage. Like, you can hear his podcast on iTunes. You've seen him in a regional commercial one time. And here it is. Heard in all three Z countries. GrownDadBusiness, Aaron Kleiber.
There it is. There it is.
So so Jason and I were talking about, like, what do we talk about in front of a live audience who, a podcast convention.
Just to do our show.
And we thought, like, we're going to just do our regular show. And we've been kicking around this idea of talking about this. And people have asked us, like, we've mentioned it so many times on the podcast, like, we should talk about just how we hustle. Like, we got some hustling stories, okay?
Yeah.
And it's perfect because I've always said, like, if you do a podcast, you're a hustler.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of shit you have to do to do a podcast, and you do it for the love of it, because a lot of times when you start a podcast, your Aunt Karen and your boyfriend is listening to your podcast.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, and then your mom wants to listen to your podcast, and she tells everyone at work, but then nobody can figure it out.
Yeah.
So that's what happens when you start your podcast.
Yeah.
Look at him laughing. He was like, "You're right. My Aunt Karen is a fan."
Yeah, and your aunt's office are like, they talked about beaver anus for 7 minutes.
I know.
Turn this shit off.
Do you know how many times I've tried to explain mother effing iTunes to my mom?
Oh.
Like, she's like, "I want to listen to your podcast," and I'm like, it's an app on your phone. You just type in your son's goddamn name.
They're getting there. They're getting there. But no, it is interesting as we were talking about hustle, and it started off actually talking about a mutual hustle that we both did. If you can all remember, listening at home and folks here, there used to be a thing called Columbia House Records back in the day, and you used to put a penny, and you would get how many? It started off with 45s, and then it was...
Really? Did they do it with 45?
Oh, they do it with 45, I think. In fact, Adam, our producer, can fact check. I'm probably wrong.
Yeah.
But I definitely remember it was 10 cassettes for a penny, And you picked, and tell me how hard, that was the worst playlist pick you had to do, because you had to pick out 10, and they would send you one that you knew, like you didn't want. It was like Pavarotti's greatest hits.
Wait. Was it random?
What? So you got to pick what you wanted, but they sent you a bonus tape all the time.
Oh.
So then it moved to CDs, and then it was probably the same number, but we talked about that, and I ran in my dorm room where my buddy ran the mail room in my dorm building, and so he had... This is probably a federal crime I'm admitting to.
Listen,
Hold
you're
on.
right. Every time...
Hold on.
Leah, think hard about this. Is there a lawyer podcast?
Do we have a lawyer podcast?
Do we have a law
in Pittsburgh?
podcast here today?
Should I talk about manipulating the U.S. mail for personal gain?
Should we talk about stealing cigarettes and selling them to kids tonight?
Yeah.
Should I do that?
No,
that's another hustle that I'm going to talk about.
Yeah, no. So that was our first mutual hustle. So what we would do is, you obviously.
Yeah. What was your game with this?
Well, I had multiple mailboxes because it was in the dorm, and there were 200 mailboxes.
Yeah.
My buddy was in charge of the mail, so we just assigned.
You had a dude
fake
on the
IDs.
Wait.
So you create. Dude, do you know? I just told my wife this the other day. Do you know how many free Steeler T-shirts that I had in the 90s? Because I would go up to every booth and give them the wrong information.
Oh, yeah.
So that I could get the free T-shirt, the free beach towel. The free bucket. I don't care. I want the free shit. And that was when the hustle was real then in the 90s for me, early the mid 90s.
So and then you had a dude on the inside.
Yeah, so we could. So
this
it
is
wouldn't
legit.
be.
This is legit hustle.
If it wasn't somebody on the inside with me, they would question, why is he coming down and emptying 10 mailboxes out, all with 10 CDs in each one? And then I would take them, and there was the first in the town of my college was a local used books and CD store. So you would go and then sell those ones, right?
Oh.
Right? Come on. I was in college, man. I didn't have money. My parents didn't love me. I wasn't getting fucking care packages, okay? I needed Pizza Hut money.
I know, dude. How about those kids in college that they would just get like care packages from their Aunt Karen, okay, or whoever.
I know.
Like I would never, dude. Every time I'd go to the mailbox, I would get my own loan payments.
Well, that's the
only thing came in my mailbox.
Yeah, my care package came from Columbia House in the form of CDs. Well, Snow, the Snow CD that year. Snow. Look at it, Boom Boom Down was real popular on the Edinburgh campus.
All right, I gotta take an aside real quick because that's what we do. Jason and I just pull Post-it notes off the wall, put this up there. I'll get back to Columbia House. Okay, so there's a comedian friend of mine. I just remembered.
Go ahead.
No, I was about to give somebody the wrong credit. Our producer, Adam Chico, and I know, I was about to not give Adam credit for this.
It's okay.
Our producer and Adam Chico and I, we came up with this idea for a sketch, and I can't believe I'm sharing it. It's not even a sketch. It's an idea about snow, right? Now, if you guys remember the song Informer.
Informer. Lick it, boom, boom, down. That guy.
You remember that one?
Yeah.
Okay. By the way, Snow was a white Canadian dude.
Yeah.
Impersonating like a Jamaican rapper. Just want to throw that out there, guys.
Who he also looked like the one guy from Color Me Bad.
He also looked like that one dreadlock. Did he have dreadlocks?
No.
No, Snow?
No, Snow had, I think, we all had flat tops.
Snow looked
in the
like
90s.
A more out of shape John Cena. Do you know what I mean?
Oh,
like he would do the visor.
Yeah.
He was like out of shape John Cena, like a hat, like a cocked visor.
No,
not
he wasn't fat.
Visor,
he just was.
But like a
yeah.
He had and then like the jean shorts. He was a white Canadian dude. So we thought, like, what if I went around with like a hidden camera crew and tried to, like, nobody knows who Snow is, right? Like you can't. Like, what if I just told people I was Snow?
Okay.
Right?
It's a very
Sorgatron.
I mean, as if you're pitching this for a treatment.
No, like
I think your target audience not knowing what you're doing might be a challenge.
Okay, this is the one idea where it's like I try to convince people that I'm Snow, and see what I can get out of being Snow.
You remember me? Oh, just go to restaurants.
Yeah, and I'll be like,
"Yo, man, you remember Informer?"
Aliki boom boom, and then like, "Oh my God, snow!"
Holy shit! You got
and then like,
free
I don't know,
breadsticks
maybe we
at
get
Olive Garden.
Maybe we get free breadsticks. Maybe we pop bottles in the champagne room. Who knows?
Oh.
But you gotta watch to see what happens. This is a terrible idea.
Yeah.
Here's the other idea. It's just a sketch comedy where it's just like a 90-second sketch.
Yeah.
Where I have to get my boys together and I have a big secret to tell them. Like I'm like, guys, like I gotta talk to you guys. Like I rent a cabin in the woods, like a weekend, like of my closest friends. And I'm like, I got to tell you guys something. We build it up, and then I'm like, guys, and then we gather around this we have like a big fire going in this big rustic cabin because Aaron has something to say, and I'm like, guys, I have something to tell you. I'm Snow. Right?
That's just one episode.
That's
the final episode. That's the finale.
And then they're like, guys, we thought there was something bigger than this. You'd be like, what?
Yeah, no.
I'm Snow.
Woo.
All right. So anyway.
So now you all see what I do.
Now you all see where that idea is going to go.
Yeah.
And what our podcast is about.
No. Oh, well, Aaron, thank you. I mean, that was great. Thank you.
Where were we?
That was great. So we're talking about hustle.
Well, Sorgatron said we have to burn 4.5 hours.
Yeah,
so
we're
I
ready.
thought, Sorgatron, I thought that story about snow was going to be about 90 minutes.
Yeah.
But,
stage time versus real time is always a different.
Yeah, I know.
But no, we were talking about hustle.
Yeah. I love that you had a guy on the inside.
Yeah.
And you did college.
I mean, it was short-lived. I did it for like a semester.
Oh, boy. Okay.
You know what I mean? And then that was just whatever.
My Columbia House hustle was a lot more white trash than that, okay? Ooh. So I grew up in the projects, okay?
Okay.
And so, like, a lot of times, like, we were all, like, all my friends, we were all latchkey kids. You know what I mean? Like, we would come home from school. Nobody was ever home. Like, parents, at 3 p.m. where I grew up, there were no adults.
Right.
They were all at work. So it was just the kids coming home and just robbing each other and beating each other up. It was Thunderdome until 6 p.m. when the parents rolled in from work. Whatever. Anyway, or it was like the dads that work nights, they woke up and were like, what the hell's happening here? Anyway, so when I discovered that we didn't even have to do the penny. I did this in I shouldn't say years.
Yeah, there was no penny at that.
Yeah, we didn't have penny.
The cassette was a penny. When I got the CDs, they're like,
I don't want to give any.
I guess the gain wasn't fully there.
Yeah, right. Like I don't want to give any names of neighborhoods or even time frames that the FBI can investigate.
They have their work cut out for them this week. Okay, they don't give a shit about us.
Yeah, they don't care. The FBI's busy.
They got to get to work. You got 5 days. You on the clock?
Bingo.
Let's go.
So here's what I did. So when I realized, at first, when you see 12 CDs for 99 cents, that's when I was doing it in the mid 90s. Okay. And it was okay, I'm not going to give you 99 cents, but let's see if they'll send them. I didn't even think they would. And then when they did, I was like, oh shit, this is awesome because I'm not going to pay them anything, right? And so I thought, oh, I can just get these CDs. And at that point in my life, I was hustling all kinds of shit, okay? I was going,
Were you selling them?
Dude.
Were you selling the CDs?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, but knowing you, like I do, you were skimming. You had your own.
Dude,
you built a collection, too.
I was at a point, oh, yeah, of course Wu-Tang Forever double disc came in the mail.
Yeah.
Of course it did.
I had the Bobby Brown's Greatest Hits.
Bobby Brown's Greatest Hits. So when I realized that, I was already hustling. Dude, I was that kid that was stealing cigarettes and selling Lucy's to 11-year-olds, you know? I was like, you want to try your first cigarette? Yeah, 50 cents. Here you go. Look, our friend Kathleen Conway is shaking her head you diabolical son of a bitch.
Further cementing the fact that if we knew each other at the same age at the same time, we would not have been friends.
What are you talking about? We wouldn't have been friends. We would have been businessmen.
I would not have been hanging with some dude selling Lucy's on the corner. Dude, that's not even my world. That's not my world.
Listen.
I'm just saying.
Time ago.
I'm just saying.
I mean, I'm not saying I'm not gonna say I haven't sold a can of beer for $5 to a 14-year-old.
I'm just saying when I was younger.
But I was 16, and
Yeah.
someone else was selling me the beer, and I was just going down 4 ages. Selling it back to them at double price.
I didn't hit my Columbia House crime days until I was old enough to go to prison.
Yeah, I was happy that I committed all my crimes as a young boy.
Yeah. You going to juvie?
You're going to Schumann.
Hey, the local mom is screaming at your mom. Hey, that Aaron, that kid of yours, he's going to juvie. He's selling Lucy's out at the playground.
Our juvenile detention center was Schumann.
Hey, he's going to go off a Schumann.
Oh, you better, Kleiber, you better get it straight or you're going to Schumann.
You selling.
That was like when every guidance counselor my whole life was Schumann.
Okay, juvenile.
Guess what, guys? Never spent a goddamn minute in Schumann
Give it up
Center.
for Eric Kleiber not going to
minute.
juvenile detention centers.
Thank you so much.
Fucking.
The Conways are praying for me right now.
Yeah.
No, so when I realized, I'm like, they're really going to send me all these CDs. So I just kept, I did a couple more. I put one in my sister's name. Put one in my mom's name. She didn't like that. So then I started trying to sell them. And usually what I would do is I would it's like, I don't even, one day my kids might listen to my podcast, but, they're going to have to know about their daddy. I mean, I literally make a living making fun of my life on stage. But, so I would steal stuff. I would steal stuff all the time. I would steal stuff from, my friends' parents. I'm sorry, any parents from that proj. I would go, me and my, couple friends, we would ride our bike to the flea market. And so I'm this, 14, 15-year-old kid. I would lay out these CDs I got. And, bro, when you lay out brand new in the package CDs, now, at that time, dude, 96, 97, you go to NRM in the mall, Jason.
Yeah.
CDs are what?
I want to say
$20.
Woo.
They were expensive.
That's a good question. $20 for a CD?
How much were CDs back in the mid-90s?
I think anywhere from 13 to... I don't think...
They were expensive.
Yeah.
Because I know that I could sell a brand new CD.
Wait, you're telling me, again, we'll fact check this. You're telling me a CD cost, I wasn't paying $20
you were.
Or the equivalent for albums.
I'm pretty sure they were $20.
I was paying $20.
I'm pretty sure.
Sorgatron knows. He's shaking his head.
$20? You can talk. It's
for
not like you're going to ruin our
Yeah.
podcast. You hear what we do, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, there was about $20.
Okay, no, that's fine.
I just know that I could sell a CD. Depends on the haggler, because these son of a bitches, people come up. The CD is in plastic.
I can't haggle.
And they're like, $8. I'm like, this is in plastic still.
Yeah.
So I know I could get $10 to $15 for cash for a brand new rap CD. And then here's what I realized. I could get $20 for a double disc, okay? And I told you this before, and you laughed your balls off.
Yeah.
So once I started realizing I keep getting all these CDs, I started putting fake names in all of my friends' houses. I would just send them to dude, I probably had 40 houses going getting Columbia House CDs. Because I know this because the names I used names from James Bond movies, and I ran out of names. I had this James Bond encyclopedia, and I went through every name of characters in James Bond movies, and I ran out.
Yeah.
And so, in the projects, there's 12 apartments in one building. And there was also lots of vacant apartments. Bro, those were my personal P.O. boxes.
Yeah.
So, I had my friends, and then, my friends were like, oh, can I get these CDs? And I throw them a $5 bill and be like, thanks so much. I know, I'm Henry Hill hustling over here.
Oh, God.
So then I was like, all right, I'm going to get more and more. And I started taking them to the flea market, and I found out the best one, dude, the Forrest Gump soundtrack. I couldn't stock enough Forrest Gump soundtracks, bro. It was the hot item at the flea market.
I like that you had a tracking system. You had a sales tracking system.
Dude.
You knew what the Mon Valley flea market needed. And you gave great music to the Mon Valley at a cheap disc. You sir, you did a good service. Don't feel bad about yourself. You made a little money. You helped the Mon Valley out. They heard some classic rock because that's a badass soundtrack.
It is a great soundtrack.
You helped them out. So good for you. Good for, you know me, I'm the ultimate optimist.
Are you judging me?
No, I am seriously telling you. You did well for you gave people music. You did a service.
It was a hell of a hustle, dude.
I'm just trying to make sure that when your kids listen to this much later, that they're like, my daddy was a good man. He didn't steal CDs. But here's what we have to do to button up the Columbia House story.
Technically, August Goldfinger stole CDs.
Yeah, that's it. We have to button that up. But what I would say is, I want to dig into the Columbia House thing. There's got to be a whole website dedicated to this shit.
Yeah.
Like the whole idea behind it and the whole everything. I mean, I want to know more about how do you make money? How does this work? Why is this happening? What is the need for this?
You mean like mail order CDs?
Yeah.
Or like how do they make money?
In my eyes, you're getting ripped off. Because I think there was a commitment that you had to buy so many at regular price.
Yes.
Honestly. Was that people really, like, there a lot of people, was it a risk and reward situation? Like, in my business, I know I'm going to commit annually a percentage of a business loss that I can't control. It's going to be theft. It's going to be damage.
Right.
I'm going to put that all into a percentage on my profit and loss statement. Yeah. Is Columbia House like, we just know these sons of bitches are going to rip us off for this much percentage, and we're willing to sacrifice that because the honest people of the world are paying, because they were more.
Yeah.
To buy them, when you had to buy them outright, they were more expensive than the CDs you were buying at the store.
Oh, really?
Yes. If I remember correctly, I thought it was Sorgatron. Fact check me.
Sorgatron.
It was a lot more expensive if you paid. It was a higher price. It wasn't like when you went to National Record Mart. It was a higher price. So I think it's an interesting business model, and I will.
Do you think it's the same? This reminded me of. This is the grown-up dad portion of the show where we get business. No, do you think it's?
I'm fascinated by the idea of a business that could be that.
I wonder if it's. I remember
easily manipulated.
I remember they would keep that. I only kept up maybe I'd say a dozen accounts to the monthly thing until they stopped. Until they're like, okay, they're not paying, because they would send.
Oh yeah, they're gonna stop. They cap you off.
They would send me the monthly on. I would keep it up with a couple different accounts.
Right.
And I would pick a monthly, and I would keep picking Forrest Gump.
Yeah.
Because, dude, it's a $20 bill at the flea market.
We're coming. We're coming up on the clock. I got one. I'd like to have one. My notorious story. What I thought we were coming up on 9.
Yeah. When do we need to be done, Sorg? 9? 5 minutes?
Yeah. Yeah. That's all I need.
All right.
All right. So
7 minutes.
So in the 90s, I you know the whole deal. I was living on my own. I got thrown to my house. I was homeless. Right. Me and my brother got a place together. And I found myself, that year, it was when the Steelers of the 90s really were blowing up, okay?
I'm so glad you're telling this, because I forgot. I'm so happy. This is such a good hustle.
We're getting ready. I mean, this is leading into Super Bowl 30.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of hype. I'm a kid of the 70s. I was young back then. So I went to every Steeler game rather than pay my bills. So I would go to every Steeler game, and I recognized a need.
Yeah.
Early on in tailgating.
Yeah.
Three River Stadium, that there was a lot of weed being smoked around at tailgate
of course,
parties.
Tailgating, people feeling good. Yeah.
So I recognized that a lot of times people are like, they had weed, but they didn't have. What are we going to? They wanted to have something to smoke in it, but they wanted to keep it discreet. It wasn't like now, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like you had to keep it on the down low. So
wait. So you thought of something?
Yeah. So
before you drop it, because it's so good. So instead of I have a friend that hustles, cornhole boards, Steelers, but you had.
So there used to be this head shop in Oakland, and it was called Teleropa.
Yeah.
Right? Woo, yeah. I got a woo for Teleropa.
That's the University of Pittsburgh neighborhood.
Yes, yeah. Right in Oakland, right off of Fifth Ave, right there.
Yeah.
On a side street before you got to the O. But Teleropa is where you went, and you got all your paraphernalia.
Yeah.
And I went in and I would buy these little bowls, little personal pipes, right?
What were they, like glass or?
Well, no, they were a metal, and then in the middle there was a plastic insert, and in the plastic insert had a clear sleeve over it, and in the insert would be like pictures of like wizards and jesters and
Let
shit.
me guess, like a rainbow bear.
Yeah.
Like that. Right, yeah.
You take whatever. So they were $5 pipes. So I'd buy $5 pipes. I'd buy as many as I could afford.
Yeah.
I would take them home, take them apart, and I would replace the wizard and the Care Bear or whatever with the Steeler emblem.
Yeah. Wait, where'd you get it from?
I cut them out of programs from the games I went to. I would get everyone that I went with that got programs, and I would rip out pages that had this certain emblem, and then I would go home and I would make the sleeve, and then I would go to Three River Stadium and I would sell them from anywhere from $20 to $30 a pop.
Dude, right now, Pittsburgh PodCon, Jason.
It's not a proud moment, Melissa. My wife's listening right now.
Jason was the Frank Abagnale Jr. of bowls in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Like remember when Frank Abagnale, like from Catch Me If You Can, he was like in the bathtub with a Pan Am plane.
Lifting up the decals.
You were in the bathtub in McKees Rocks.
No.
Lifting Steelers emblems.
Oh, man.
And putting them on a bowl.
That was a hustle, and it was just like,
dude.
It was, listen, business is about supply and demand, man. And you got to brand it. And listen, as podcasters, right? You got to have a brand. And you got to get it out in front of people.
And you got to go straight to the customer, guys.
They told me what they wanted. I gave them what they
podcasting.
needed. I was good, man. But yeah, that was me and my brother struggling to make it on our own, working construction during the day, and at night just trying to pay bills. And I seen it, man. I'm like, wow, I can make this out of this, and I can turn around and make money. People try to pay me in weed, and I'm like, no, I need $20 to $30.
Yeah, you're like, I need to pay the gas bill. Son of a bitch.
I should have etched them like 1 through whatever, like that they were limited editions. I should have numbered them. You had a limited edition. I only made 40 of these.
You know what you should have done? You should have also cut out the faces of the bios of the players. So you were like, I'm the only one that's got a Greg Lloyd bowl. And it's just Greg Lloyd's face staring at you like, get that.
So based on this podcast tonight, the FBI is investigating us for federal mail fraud. And now I have the Steelers coming after me for trademark infringement.
We didn't hurt anybody except huge corporations, so whatever. They've done enough to the commoners.
That was the hustle. We hustled here today.
We hustled here, guys.
Yeah.
And that's cool that, like, part of the Pittsburgh PodCon is cool because everybody's hustling what they're doing. Like I said in the beginning, if you do a podcast, you're hustling your ass off.
Yeah.
There are people here with, like, stuff that, like, they're, like, we got one over here. They're giving away comic books. It's a comic book podcast. There's, like, popcorn for a movie podcast.
It's great.
Scare House, our friends every year. We visit Scare House every year.
Oh, Dutters. Where's Dutters?
Where's Dutters?
Oh, I'm coming back. The Scare House. We just talked it on the ride home from Cleveland.
Yeah.
I'm like, we need to mark it down because that was my first time. I hadn't been in a haunted house in 20 goddamn years. And he took me. We're going to the basement. And I'll tell you what happened. And I'll tell you, this son of a bitch. I loved it. I was like, let's go again. I ate a cricket on purpose.
He was asking me if it was normal to like being locked in a coffin. He was like, I just locked myself in my trunk for 5 hours. Anyway. When we go in the Scare House.
But yeah, no, the podcast,
this is awesome.
The medium itself, we love doing it.
Yeah.
You podcasters, it's a passion, it's a love. You guys are great getting together and sharing ideas and sharing things together. And
this is an exciting community thing. This is cool that we get to, like, there's podcasts that I didn't even know existed. So if you guys are interested, you could even go on Instagram or Twitter or even Facebook and just go hashtag PGH PodCon.
You'll see everyone that was here.
You'll see a lot of the other podcasts tagged.
Yeah.
Check them out. There's like one for so many different things.
Yeah.
So and we just happen to be two dads that giggle about shit.
That's it. That's what we like to do.
Yeah.
But
guys, thank you so much.
Thank you.
That's it, guys. We did it.
We had fun.
We did it.
Thank you.
That was good, right?
That was good. You want to do another hour?
Right,
Can we do another hour?
I've
got an hour. I've got a tight hour. Let's do this.
We're going to do just an hour on gyros. Here we go. Boom.
Boom. Welcome back to GrownDad Gyros.
Nope, they're cutting us off. It's over.
Thank you, everybody.